This video is going to cover gear stats and stats effects in Marvel's Avengers. There are 7 base stats in the game: Might, Precision, Proficient, Valor, Resolve, Resilience, and Intensity. Might increases melee damage, so the overall number, and it also increases the ultimate heroic charge rate. Precision increases range damage, so the overall number of range damage, and it also increases the assault heroic charge rate. So the ultimate heroic charge would be Iron Man's Hulkbuster ability, and assault would be the Unibeam ability. Proficient increases crit chance and perk chance. Perk chance means on the gear there are certain activations, so certain procs. So it could be, for instance, you have a 20% chance to deal shock damage. So that perk chance, if it was 5%, would add on to that 20%, make it 25% chance to increase to deal shock damage. Valor increases crit damage, and the base is 150%. That seems to be the base for all heroes, and it also increases heroic effectiveness. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I'm assuming it means it lasts longer, possibly deals more damage. Resolve is pretty self-explanatory, increases willpower and willpower recovery, and willpower means health in this game, so increases your overall health pool and increases health recovery. Resilience increases armor, so that reduces damage taken by a certain percentage, and also increases the charge speed of all heroic abilities. Intensity increases stun status gauge damage, so that means you could stun enemies faster, or you could apply status effects much more quicker, and I'll get into that in a minute. And it also increases status resistance. So in regard to status effects, we already know some. We could be all of them, but I'm not too sure on that. But so far we have Plasma, Pin, Gamma, Cryo, Shock, Graviton, and Cosmic. If there are any others, let me know. So to inflict the status effect, you will build it up the same way you inflict stun. So you hit an enemy by doing a light attack, heavy attack, whatever it is that your gear is accustomed to, and it will eventually build up that status gauge bar. So for instance, Gamma, you hit them a certain amount of times, you'll see the Gamma status effect applied to the enemy. I don't see this being very noticeable or useful against normal enemies on normal difficulty, but it will probably be crucial on higher level difficulties when even one mob could give you trouble, especially the bosses as well. So I think creating a team synergy will be absolutely crucial. I mean, even seeing everybody run PIM status effects, for instance, that would be a sight to see, or not to see, since they're so small. Status type on gear will come more into play at launch when missions can have certain modifiers on them, like enemies can take reduced damage from a certain status effect, or even take increased damage. So that should make it interesting with having to juggle certain gear sets. I'm not sure if it will change weekly or monthly, but definitely want to keep some modifiers on set. And for the actual status effects themselves, so far we know that Pin will shrink the enemy and it decreases their defense and attack. Gamma and Plasma seem to be a dot, meaning damage over time. Cryo we have already seen because it happens to you all the time. You get froze and stuck in place. Same thing for the enemy. Shock, Graviton, and Cosmic, I'm not exactly sure what they do, but it seems certain enemies will be weaker to those kinds of damages and will take more damage based on the chance. And it seems like each hero starts off with a different set of base stats, though I've noticed that even if a rating doesn't increase, so like if you had Might 0, it may increase the overall melee damage. So I noticed when I changed a piece of gear that didn't even increase my overall Might, so it stayed at 0 instead of going from 0 to 1, for instance. It increased the actual melee damage that I did just by a few points, just by like 2 or 3 points. So it seems that certain perks on gear increases stats by a small amount. I'm not sure if it's a visual bug, but we'll have to see when it comes to launch. So I hope that cleared up some information if anybody had any confusion on what stats did or what stats effects did. But we should know more when the game launches on September 1st for me. So I'm pretty excited, if you can't tell by the sound of my voice. Peace.